I started to work here in February, but I attended the January Board of Education meeting. And at that meeting, a student from First Flight High School got up and spoke. And basically the theme of her talk that evening was student voice. So I started talking with Mr. Bassnight about that as soon as I came.
You know, sometimes in these meeting rooms, it's a lot of adults talking about what we're doing to students. And I just really felt like the perspective that we would get from students about some of those very issues that were going to determine what they did on a daily basis would be really impactful.
We did applications for our seniors, and they interviewed lots of students, wonderful candidates. Each month they report out on board highlights that our principals provide. One of the challenges for them is to go out and find out what's going on in their school so that they can comment on important issues.
I went through this interview process to become the student advisor to the Board of Education, and I really wanted this position because I love representing my peers, and I feel like I'm a student that's really involved in a lot of different groups, like student athletes, AP students, foreign language students. I like being part of a lot of different groups, and I liked how this position allowed me to represent each group. So after I was selected for this position, I was sworn into the Dare County Board of Education. At the meetings, we highlight each of the little pieces of each school in the system, and I get to just touch base with the community on all the highlights at all the different schools.
At every board meeting, I give a little report on what's going on in all the schools. And I think that kind of helps them remember that what they do actually matters in our schools. Like, they're writing the policies and they're doing all this work, but it's actually coming into fruition. And so I think it helps ground them a little bit into the actual reaps of their labor.
I interviewed because I love doing so much here at the school, since I'm part of SGA, DECA, National Society, all of that. And so I felt like I wanted to do more. I'm really proud of the fact that I can show the voice of our school and our community at the Board of Education meetings, because it's so important that they see the improvement and how good our school is.
I've just as well started to feel more comfortable in sharing things. So I've started sharing and talking to individual teachers here that have talked at the board, and also just when people give their presentations and there's something that clicks for me or something that I think that, well, yeah, maybe that sounds good, but from a student's perspective, we might need to tweak it or come up with something new or look at it a different way, because I think a student's perspective and a teacher's perspective and a board member's perspective, they're all really different, and when they come together, I think that's when the good stuff happens.
I think what we've seen from all three of these phenomenal students is that they've jumped into this with both feet, and they see this as a real opportunity to have an impact on what goes on the day-to-day basis in the schools, and they take the opportunity to share their opinions and their feelings about what it's really like to be in school, and that perspective is just dynamite for our board to be able to hear on a daily basis.